Hi, this is Sherry, and it's day 8 of the conference, the Confident Mother Online Conference. So I'm very excited about the amazing feedback I'm getting and the actions you're telling me about, which is just incredible. So keep doing it, keep giving me feedback, keep sharing the emails, keep taking action. You know, that's the most important thing. As I mentioned yesterday, lots of people lots of business people say to me, why on earth do you do this for free? But you know, the thing that makes me do it for free is work-life balance is such an important topic for me. It comes up all the time in the leadership program that I run, in the career confidence programs that I do, in my back to work confidence programs. And you know, sometimes when women feel like they've got that work-life balance and it's working, and then we feel so scared to do anything like change career or go for that promotion or change employers because we're worried that we're going to upset that work-life balance. And hopefully the interviews you've been listening to and the interviews that are still to come will give you that confidence to know that you can make this work the way that you want it to work. So yesterday, oh wow, that interview with Kath Robinson was just amazing. I really loved it, and I just love the way she's kind of pushed through her comfort zone, and such a privilege, such an honour that she was able to share the challenges that she went through last year, and that hearing that inner voice, that inner critic in her head, and how she got through that. And I think that you know, that comes up all the time with the women that I talk to, that you know, you're worried you've gotten to that promotion and then you're worried, how am I going to prove myself? But clearly her manager thought she was capable. It was about her belief in herself. And I know that she's doing amazing stuff now. And what I really found fascinating is how she's used that in her mountain biking as well. And what she was saying is actually it started out on the mountain bike trail, and she realised if I can get my confidence to go down some of these stony, rocky, and having done a lot of mountain bike racing myself, you just have to feel the fear and go for it. A friend of mine who used to do cyclocross with me, he used to say, when in doubt, go flat out. And that's kind of what you have to do sometimes when you're off-road. I will just say that I later found out that he didn't really mean it. He was just saying that as a way of kind of getting me going. But whenever I got scared off-road, I just thought to myself, Colin told me, when in doubt, go flat out. So I would go for it. Most of the time it worked. So coming up today then, we've got two amazing speakers. So Jessica Chivers is talking at lunchtime today, and she's going to be talking about maternity leave and when you come back after maternity leave, and specifically what great managers know and what great managers do when you're coming back from maternity. So this is a great one if you're coming back from maternity leave yourself and you need to persuade your employer about what to do, or you maybe need to manage your manager, or if you have staff yourself who are on maternity leave currently or who are about to go on maternity leave, these are some things that you can be thinking about. So that was a really good session with Jessica. So she talks about you know, other people's perceptions, and we talked about that. So many organisations are just missing out on that incredible female talent that often gets lost when people come back after a career break or perhaps after maternity leave. So yes, so she talks about what to do before going on maternity leave, what to do during maternity leave, so they're keeping in touch, inviting discussions on flexible working, and then how you can kind of ease that transition back into the workplace. That's a brilliant one. And then in the evening tonight, Rebecca Pintre. Now, I hadn't realised previously, actually, because I've gotten to know Kath and Rebecca through different routes. Kath I originally knew through running. I hadn't realised the coincidence that actually Rebecca and Kath have worked together. So Rebecca specialises in mindset coaching, and the topic we talked about was the imposter syndrome. So the imposter syndrome, lots of women experience this. It's where you've got that inner voice in your head, that critic in your head that's telling you you're not good enough, you're too young, you're too old, you're not experienced enough. And so that's what we discussed. Absolutely fascinating discussion. We talked about who has the imposter syndrome and how do you know if you're experiencing it, like what the signs are. And more importantly, how do you get around it? How do you get over it? And we know that's possible because Kath's story last night really was how she has managed to calm down that inner critic. And I can't remember now if it was on the interview, because Kath and I carried on talking for quite a while after we stopped recording. But I'd complimented her and said, I'm just so impressed with what you've achieved. And she instantly heard that inner critic in her head. But she's able to hear that now and acknowledge it and accept it and say, no, that's just my inner critic. So Rebecca, we talk about, the first steps to recognising the signs, how to fix it. And she gives some really practical tips. So if you do hear that inner voice telling you, oh, are you sure about this? Are you sure you're good enough? Or if I know I've done it myself, people say to me, oh, wow, you progressed through the ranks really quickly. No, I was just in the right place at the right time. Hell no. I put myself in the right place at the right time. That was me. But I did used to say that to other people, and now I acknowledge, no, I was bloody good at what I did, and people recognise that, and that's why I got promoted. So that's what we're doing. If you haven't yet registered, theconfidentmother.co.uk, click on the conference tab. I'd love to see you. We've still got a few more interviews, and it's a brilliant event. Everybody's loving it, and I'm sure you will too. Thanks for listening.